Today I wanted to discuss my diet that I've been on since January of 2025. Yeah. So, trying to make the case between having carnivore, or I like to call it ketovore, versus keto with keto snacks. So by the way, I'm Suzanne, and I talk about how to live a more peaceful life with ADHD. And I think that diet is really important to have more peace in a brain that has ADHD. From my experience and what I wrote in my book is that exercise and healthy food choices are just paramount for peaceful life when you're on the spectrum. And I have over 50 years of experience with unhealthy choices like too much sugar addiction, or just wanting comfort food. And when I was younger, I was bulimic and would just binge on my favorite foods and just get rid of it. So of course somebody in high school said, "Oh, that's the best way, No, it's not. And of course I stopped doing that after I got out of my teens. But, lo and behold, all those decades of being a mother, wife and a mother, and trying to manage my weight and trying to not stress eat. And, and then there was a number of years I was a single mom. And I think when you're on the spectrum, you need a little more comfort maybe than most. And plus we can be obsessive about foods. So, and then just binge on things and, cookie dough or whatever, right? When you're under stress, you just want a tub of ice cream or what have you. So, for me, I need to be an abstainer. And I've learned this even now working on the carnivore diet. When I first started it, of course, if anybody doesn't know what a carnivore diet is, it's eating animal foods, right? And so they like to call it B&E, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And truly, I think if I can stick to that, per se, I would lose all the weight I want to lose. Mind you, I just have 15 pounds to lose, I lost the first 8 to 10 my first year in 2025. But then we were at a friend's house, and she said, "Oh, do you want dessert?" And I said, no, I'm carnivore. She said, "Oh, I have keto ice cream." Slippery slope. It was a mint chocolate chip keto ice cream, and it was just the beginning, the gateway drug. And then of course I would watch YouTube videos and people would tell me, try this recipe and try that recipe, and I still am the type of person that wants comfort food. And so lo and behold, day by day I was allowing more and more keto snacks into my life, the keto cookies or keto no sugar chocolate chips that I would melt with strawberries. Now, mind you, from the beginning, berries are low sugar and good on the ketovore diet. Like I said, I've never been like pure carnivore. I think it would take all the joy out of my life to just have beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. But there's times, I was a vegetarian for decades, and so there are times when I get like a meated version, and it's like, oh, I just don't want any more. Or I even notice if I'm eating meat late in the day, I have trouble falling asleep. It's like I can sort of feel like an acid reflux or something. I don't really like to eat too much late in the day that's heavy like that. So mind you, from the get-go, I've always been what I call a ketovore, which is my base is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, but I also allow myself to have strawberries, blueberries, and peppers, onions, and sometimes mushrooms. So, and that's worked for me overall. The toughest thing to keep my weight down was that I just substituted sugar with heavy whipping cream, or half and half. And I saw a video, a woman talking about having her keto root beer float and putting heavy whipping cream in it with ice and Zevia soda, which I still like Zevia soda. I especially like their ginger root beer. Highly recommend it. Zevia is Zevia, and you can get it at any grocery store. But this past week or two, I have curtailed putting anything in my tea or my Zevia soda. It's a no sugar. It's stevia, so there's no sugar in this soda and no caffeine. So I did notice for the past week and a half that I've been doing this, that every day I'm losing a pound, because the weight crept up a bit just when I started adding keto snacks, like I think it was the beginning of this year, 2026, January. So for the past 5 or 6 months, I did notice my weight crept up like 6 pounds. So I'm doing an experiment, and so far I'm seeing that as I'm not having the heavy whipping cream or the half and half, and I've also decreased my cheese a little bit, my cheese intake. So I've decreased my dairy like a lot. And every day a pound or 2 is coming off. So, well, about a pound. So between the debate, should you be carnivore or keto? I would say split the difference, ketovore. Just don't go crazy on cream. And I allowed myself to do the cream for a year because I wanted to get over my sugar addiction. So I substituted it with that. And it worked. And it was fine. But now I'm doing the experiment to cut out that along with keto snacks. But like I'm saying, if you can stay moderate with the cream, the heavy whipping cream, I think it's okay. If you're just like adding it to your coffee or your tea and then having one soda with it and ice, like a couple of tablespoons, it's fine. My problems crept up when I started doing the keto snacks, and people have warned me. I watched a lot of videos changing my diet, and people did warn me not to go that route with the keto snacks. The keto cookies, the keto ice cream, keto, snacks. So it's best to just eat whole food, and that, I think, is the trick. Just whole food, and you will be fine. My one friend used to say, I eat foods with one ingredient, right? Milk, eggs, beef, fish, chicken, things like that. So I guess that's what I wanted to share. And leave a comment if you also are on this diet. Well, let's call it a way of life now, because it's over. For me, it's been over a year and a half, and I don't plan on going back to my regular carbs. I've decided my life is dedicated now to going low carb. So you try to keep your carbs under 30 grams. I'm not good at counting my macros, so I just think I keep it as simple as possible, and I'll probably be fine. I never really was more than 20 to 30 pounds overweight, and like I said, I've lost about 10 throughout all this, and it crept up 6, but now just in the past week it went back down, so I probably want to lose another 10 or 15 pounds that hopefully will come off now that I'm getting serious about staying off keto snacks and sticking with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, plus, like I said, the few vegetables and fruits that are healthy enough to have. All right, well, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye.